Hello and welcome back to another episode of Minecraft Bedrock Hardcore. I'm here in the expanded nether tunnels that I made in the last episode, and if you didn't know, this super long tunnel goes all the way to my end portal. As you can see, this area at the end of this tunnel is extremely unfinished, and I am gonna sort this out in this episode, but first, we need to go to the end and do 20 days of endstone mining. If you haven't seen this series before, basically I do 20 days of endstone mining at the start of each episode with the goal of completely removing this end island, and currently this section right here is down to Y39, and 20 days later it's now all the way down to 24. I was able to do 15 layers this time, which is a lot more than usual, but that's because, as you can see, this section is getting smaller and smaller. At the start of next episode, this entire area should be fully removed, which is pretty exciting. Anyway, with that all done, let's head back to the overworld and begin work on the first project of this video. What I want to do today is make a piglin bartering farm. You may be wondering why I want to do that, and the simple answer is that I pretty much always need tons of quartz. Quartz is a building block that I use in basically every single one of my builds, just because I really love it, and I'm planning on using an absolute ton in my mega base, so I really don't want to continue gathering it manually. You can automate the production of quartz using villagers as well, but I do believe that piglins are a lot more efficient. I've found a good design from my good friend Slack Lizard, and these are all of the materials, so I'm gonna go through my lovely storage system here and see how many I have. We will need 42 quartz slabs, 11 buttons, 2 stacks of glass, 2 stacks and 17 of hoppers, 47 chests, 40 quartz blocks, 1 gold block, 1 minecart, 11 brewing stands, 21 blue ice, 52 barrels, 2 droppers, 40 redstone, 1 redstone block, 1 piston, 1 sticky piston, 1 observer, 39 fences, 13 redstone torches, 1 trapdoor, 64 rails, 13 activator rails, 13 detector rails, and last but not least, 39 minecart hoppers. Or I guess hopper minecarts is what they're really called. But yeah, that is literally all of the items I need, besides 2 things. These 2 things should be extremely fast to collect, to be honest. First of all, I need to fly to the nearest ice biome, which I think is somewhere in this direction. Wait, what? I don't think I've ever seen this place. I clearly went in the wrong direction. I don't know why I can never find the ice biome. It's really not even that far away from my base. Okay, here's the mushroom island. If my memory serves me well, it should be right here. Yes, okay, here it is. So what I need is 10 pieces of blue ice. I believe this is packed ice, and yeah, 9 of these will make 1 blue ice, which means I need about 1.5 stacks of packed ice, and then we can craft it all, just like that. And there we go, that is the first item already. That took no time at all. The very last thing that I need for this build is 14 comparators. The reason that I wasn't able to get the comparators before is because comparators are made out of quartz, and I actually crafted all of the quartz that I had into quartz blocks, so I'm gonna have to gather a few more pieces of quartz manually. Theoretically, this should be the last time I ever have to do this, because I'm literally about to make an automatic farm for quartz. So yeah, it's pretty funny how I'm having to gather quartz to build a farm to gather quartz. I'm literally in an endless quartz cycle. Anyway, yeah, this should be more than enough for 14 comparators, so let's head back home, watch this extremely rare brown panda sadly despawn, get 42 pieces of stone, 42 pieces of redstone dust, and 42 sticks to make 42 redstone torches, and therefore 14 redstone comparators. And just like that, we now have all of the items we need to build this bartering farm. I figured that I'd build my bartering farm right above the center of my nether hub, but because the nether hub was at the bottom of the nether, it was right underneath a lava lake. So I had to spend quite a few hours draining all the lava with a bunch of sand and digging out a big hole. With this new space, not only did I have a nice area to build this bartering farm in, but I also also had a much easier entrance to get up into the regular nether. So yeah, then I just followed the tutorial step by step building the farm. This farm was actually really simple because it only needed one piglin, because in Bedrock Edition there's a weird bug that when a gold block moves, the piglin barters items extremely fast. So using this mechanic, you only need one piglin for a super fast bartering farm. And yeah, that is literally it. As you can see, most of this farm is literally just the storage system, which is pretty funny. I think at some point I'll make a cool decoration for this, because right now this entire thing is a little bit of an eyesore above the nether hub. But that project will have to be for another day. However, a project that won't be for another day is gonna be some decorating. So far in this series, I've pretty much just been building in random places, but I think now is a better time than ever to attempt to try and connect everything with some paths and things like that. I'm not entirely sure what I'm gonna do yet, so I'm gonna spend a few hours in a creative world throwing some ideas about. Okay, and it's a few days later now, and I've spent quite a long time in my creative world designing a bunch of awesome decoration for this base. And yeah, I'm not sure how much I'll be able to get done in this video because we only have 50 days left, but I can definitely make a start on it. I ended up designing so many different decorations that I've had to split up this project into a bunch of different mini builds, if that makes sense. So instead of collecting all of the materials for everything and then building everything, what I'm gonna do is gather the materials for the first section and then build it, and then gather the materials for the next section, and so on so on. You guys will see what section A is in a second once I'm actually building. But first up, I need to gather a bunch of materials, starting off with 3 shulker boxes of crimson logs, and 3 shulker boxes of warped logs. And all of the netherwood has now been collected, and yeah, for some reason that took like 3 hours. I have no idea why that took so long. But yeah, now we are on to the next item, which is gonna be 10 stacks of glass. First of all, let me have a quick look at my glass chest to see if I've got any. Okay, looks like I only have 19 to my name. Let me see my sand chest. It looks like I have just over 3 shulker boxes of sand, which means, first of all, I'm gonna go and have to gather quite a few shulker boxes of sand. Luckily for me though, there is in fact a desert right here next to my base, and this land will eventually need to be flattened anyway, so it's time to put my best foot forward and mine 6.5 shulker boxes of sand. And just like that, all of the sand has now been collected, and yeah, luckily that didn't take anywhere near as long as all of the netherwoods. But obviously, to make this into glass, we of course need to smelt it, and I actually currently don't have a super smelter, and I don't really feel like making one in today's episode. So instead, we're gonna do this the old-fashioned way. Hopefully this doesn't take an eternity, but I'm gonna place down 2 stacks of furnaces, just like that, and I'm not actually sure how much coal I have. There's only one way to find out, by looking in this chest. Okay, bingo, this should be enough. 17.5 stacks should be good. So I'm gonna split all of the coal and sand into these furnaces, and then patiently wait. And just like that, all of the sand has now been smelted. However, half of this is gonna be blue glass, and the other half is going to be purple. So I'll start off with blue. I believe that you can make lapis lazuli into blue dye. Yep, you can. That is pretty handy. And I believe I should have enough lapis to make 5 shulkers of blue glass. Yep, it turns out we had. As you can see, I have all 5 shulkers of blue glass right here, and I've even got just over 9 stacks of blue dye left over. If you guys didn't know, the stained glass recipes are actually really cheap, which is pretty nice. But yeah, these next 5 shulker boxes of glass, like I said, will need to be purple. And if I remember correctly, to make purple dye, you need blue and red. Fingers crossed I should have enough blue dye for this, but with regards to red dye, I'm not sure. I don't believe you can turn redstone dust into red dye. Nope, it doesn't look like it. Ooh. It looks like you have to use the red tulips. That is not good. I guess I'll have to go through my chests and and see if I've got any red tulips to my name. Ah, yikes. I only have 30 poppies to my name. Oh, jeez. Welp, it looks like I'm gonna have to go randomly flower picking. I just realized something. How did I forget about the iron farm? Oh my gosh. Iron farms produce a ton of poppies, don't they? Okay, please don't say I've threw the poppies away. Please don't say I've threw the poppies away. Let's go. I almost forgot about all of these poppies right here. Phew, I thought I was going to have to spend multiple hours picking flowers. That would have been extremely boring. I think with all of these poppies, I'll be able to make enough purple dye to create 5 shulker boxes of purple glass. And after that roller coaster of emotions, we now have all of the purple glass and all of the blue glass. Blue glass? Jeez, I can't even speak, I'm so flustered. Anyway, yeah, in terms of all the materials I need for this section of the base, which I will reveal in a second, I've only got 2 more items to collect. First of all, a shulker box of quartz slabs, which I already had in my storage. And last but not least, 2 shulker boxes of black concrete, which I also had in my storage just from after working on this underground base. As you can see, I literally have 20 shulker boxes of materials here, which looking at it now seems like a pretty crazy amount. So you may be wondering what I'm gonna decorate here. Well, it's actually gonna be this place. I don't really have a name for this project yet, but if you didn't know, this is where I build a pixel art of every single farm that I've made in this world, just so I can keep track of what I've done, and yeah, it actually looks pretty cool. But once I put some decoration in this place, I think it will look even cooler. So first of all, I'm gonna build a big outline out of black concrete, just like that, and now I'm gonna go in this outline, and I'm gonna take out the entire ground right here, because you know, stone and grass as a floor isn't the most aesthetically pleasing. There we go, the floor has now been removed, and yeah, as you can see, I didn't remove the floor underneath these big pixel arts right here, because once I put the decorated floor in place, those blocks obviously won't be visible. But yeah, the next step is to do the floor design. This floor is going to be extremely simple. It's just going to be a bunch of crimson logs placed in a checkerboard pattern, just like this. And once I place these in, I'll also strip them all. And yeah, this looks pretty cool. So now I just have to place this in this entire area. And because I'm placing these in a checkerboard pattern, this may take some time. By the way guys, if you're enjoying this video so far, please do consider subscribing. We just hit 12,500 subscribers and I'm trying my best to get to 20,000. So if you could help me out, that would be greatly appreciated. Anyway, yeah, I'll see you once this entire floor is placed in. The crimson has now been placed, and next up it's time to strip it. This should look a lot brighter and a lot better. What on earth is going on here? I was just stripping these logs and Minecraft seems to be breaking pretty badly here. I have no idea why this happened, but all of these stripped logs are turning into black concrete. I guess it's nothing that a relog won't fix. Visual bugs aside, the logs have now been stripped. As always, I've been doing some stripping off camera. Anyway, for the next step, I am going to need some black concrete, which is in some of these shulker boxes, and I'm actually going to place this in kind of like a staircase fashion. I'm going to extend these black concrete borders about 10 or 11 blocks up. This is going to be used to create another platform slightly above, which is where I'm going to continue marking down these farms, because I felt like doing everything on the exact same level might get pretty boring. And yeah, this will definitely vary things up and make the entire build look pretty cool. So yeah, I'm just going to extend this 10 blocks up. All the concrete has now been placed. Next up, I'm going to be extending this top block by another 2 going this way, just to create that thick little border for the next platform. So yeah, this shouldn't take too long at all. Wait, what? What on earth is that? Is that a sign saying subscribe? What? How did that get there? I guess I'll just break this, but you should subscribe by the way, because I'm trying my best to reach 20,000 subscribers, because big number equals good. Anyway, yeah, I'll see you once I have placed these blocks. Next up, I'm gonna build an outline of black concrete for this next platform. Okay, black concrete frame for layer 2 has now been placed, and guys, I want you to take a guess. What material am I gonna fill this floor in? We've got crimson here for layer 1, so Yes, it's obviously going to be warped logs for layer 2, because the crimson and warped combo I think looks pretty amazing. Not gonna lie, and yeah, I've got the warped stem here. I'm obviously going to be placing these in the same pattern. Whoops, I did not mean to break you. Yeah, as I was saying, I'm going to be placing these in the exact same pattern, which is going to be what I call a checkerboard pattern. I use this all the time when I'm building with logs because I just think it looks really cool. The only thing is, it obviously takes a lot longer to place than just regularly placing them. So yeah, I'll see you once I have the warped placed in. The warped has not been placed, but obviously this looks a whole lot better when it is stripped, as you can see right there. So yeah, now I'm gonna strip all of this. Who could have ever predicted that one coming? Okay, I've got good news and I've got bad news. The good news is that this warped is all stripped and it's looking pretty magnificent, if I do say so myself. However, the bad news is that I somehow forgot an item that I needed for this build. What I forgot was a shulker box of end rods. So I'm gonna have to take a break from building and fly through this lovely nether tunnel that I built in the last episode so that I can get to my end portal and then fly through one of these gateways just like that and find the nearest end city. It looks like this is actually an end city that I haven't raided. Never mind, I totally just got trolled. I've clearly taken all the loot and all the shulker boxes, but that's fine because all I need is end rods. So yeah, I'll see you guys once I have a shulker box. I honestly have no idea how long this is gonna take. Probably way too long. And that is the last end rod. Oh my gosh. This took a pretty comical amount of time. 2 hours to be exact, as you can see in the top left of the screen. And yeah, I don't think I'm ever gonna be manually collecting end rods again. I think the next time I need this material, I'm just gonna make a blaze farm and then also gather a bunch of chorus fruit, because you can actually craft end rods. And that does seem like a much more efficient way of doing things. However, crafting end rods that way means that you miss out on all of this lovely end city loot, which I've been gathering up this entire time. Because I've been having to find loads of new end cities, as you can see in my coordinates at the top left of the screen, I am currently 23,000 blocks out. So yeah, now it's time to go back to the main end island, so hopefully it doesn't take me too long to find one of those gateway thingies. Gateway thingy has now been found, and yeah, we can just fly through it just like that. Real quick, before I head back into the overworld, I'm just gonna admire my end hub here. Not gonna lie, I think this is one of my favorite ever Minecraft builds, and probably my favorite build in this world. I think I need to use this build palette more often because this looks absolutely amazing. For my building standards anyway. You could probably do a much better job than me. Anyway, yeah, let's head back home and continue work on the decoration of this build. And oh my gosh, this actually looks a whole lot better already, even with this half-finished structure. Anyway, yeah, you may be wondering what I'm going to be needing all of these end rods for. Well, these are actually going to be pillars. They're going to be 3x3, which is why I need so many of them. And yeah, these will be in all of the corners of this build, going about 11 blocks in height. There we go, and next up, I'm gonna extend these pillars by 3 blocks on each side, just with some black concrete. I thought that this would make for some interesting walls, and with those all placed in, I'm gonna connect all of these pillars up 1 block above. This will make the frame for the ceiling. Boom! There we go. Ah, doesn't that look good? Now, for the grindy process, remember how I have like 10 shulker boxes of colored glass? Well, this is for pretty much just filling all of the walls and ceilings in. So for this first crimson level, I'm going to fill in the entire ceiling with purple stained glass, as well as filling in all of the walls as well. Then once I've done that, I'll obviously come up to level 2 here, in which I'll be doing blue glass for everything. So yeah, once these 2 steps are done, I'll just have a few finishing touches to add, and then all of this decoration will be completed. So yeah, I guess I'll put my best foot forward and do this glass placing. Bam! The glass is in place, and oh yeah, this place is really starting to come along now. Before we decide a name for this build, I've just got one more step to do. Just a little finishing touch, if you will. I'm going to get all of my quartz slabs out and place these on top of the black concrete here. This should create a pretty cool accent, and yeah, just bring the entire entire build together. And there we go, this project is finally completed. And yeah, the quartz on the top of here just really brings everything together, as I said. I'm gonna be calling this build Farm Studios because obviously each of the pixel arts in this build is representing a farm that we have in our world. Floor number 1 is fully filled up, so I'm gonna start building pixel arts in floor number 2 here, and then eventually once this is filled up, we'll obviously have to extend this build. But for now, Farm Studios is completely decorated, and doesn't this place look a whole lot better than before? As you can see in the top left of the screen, we have 8 days left of this video, which I think should be enough time to complete stage 2 of the starter base decoration project. This will be a pretty small path that leads from my house all the way to Farm Studios. But before I do that project, I need to head down into my storage system, get 8 gold ingots, 1 apple, craft a golden apple, and use my anvil to rename it to No Wheezy. Now, if you're wondering why I did that, well, that is because No Wheezy is the first person to be on the wall of items. If you want to be in this world and get on the wall of items yourself, all you have to do is become a channel member and then comment down below what item you want to be renamed as. As long as it's obtainable in hardcore Minecraft, I will get the item and rename it to your name, and I will put it on this wall. So if you want to be the second person here, become a channel member by clicking join, and yeah, just leave a comment down below asking what item you want to be. Anyway, with that out of the way, it is time to build this path going from my house to, what did I call this thing again? Farm Studios. That's right, I kind of forgot what I called it then. So yeah, real quick before we start building, let me head into my storage system and see if I have all of the materials I need. I think I should do. Well, that's embarrassing. I'm not even close. For some reason, I have literally 0 spruce and 0 quartz to my name. Luckily, I don't need too much of it, so I think I'm just gonna go manually gather it. I believe there is a spruce biome somewhere near my base. I haven't got the best memory, so I'm not entirely sure. Well, it took some time, but a spruce biome has now been found, and yeah, I believe I need around about 10 or 11 stacks of logs, if you include the slabs and stairs I have to craft. So with these big 2x2 trees, this shouldn't take too long at all to collect. Cool, that should be enough. Oh! What? I was gonna say it was time to collect the quartz, but apparently I have it in this chest right here. I must have just looked in the block of quartz chest and not the regular quartz chest. Phew, I think that should be enough. I was slightly confused because I was sure that I had some knocking about. That is a bit of a relief. Let me just craft all of these into blocks real quick, and then I'll craft about 2 stacks of slabs from that as well. With my spruce, I'll just need to craft a couple of stacks of slabs and a couple of stacks of fences. And yeah, I'll need the rest of the spruce just as logs. And that's everything I need to start building. Brilliant. So when I was designing this pathway slash bridge in my creative world, my thought process was to try and make the design a blend of the house and the farm studio build. So yeah, on this side of the pathway it's going to be more sprucey, and on this side it's going to be more quartzy. So I'm going to start off by expanding these spruce pillars that I have on the outside of this house, and I'm going to place them 3 blocks tall with 5 blocks in between them all. There we go, and on the outsides here I'm just going to extend this top block by 1 on the outside. These spruce pillars go exactly halfway down the path, and obviously on the other half these pillars will be made out of quartz. So I'm just going to do the exact same but with quartz blocks right here. Cool, there we go. Next up, I'm going to really quickly strip all of these spruce logs because, you know, I don't care what anybody says, all logs look better when they're stripped. I don't know why people disagree with that. So yeah, this shouldn't take much time at all. Now I'm going to place spruce slabs on top of all of these blocks right here, and I'll obviously do quartz slabs for these ones. Now I'm going to connect all the pillars on the ground here with either spruce slabs or quartz slabs, and in this middle section here I'll just kind of have them blend into one another. Pretty simple stuff, as you can see. Next up, I'm going to put some soul lanterns on all of these blocks. Then underneath I'm going to have some fences which go right down to the ground. So in the water here, it's literally going to go right to the bottom, just like that, just to try and make it not look like it's floating. Obviously for the spruce, I'm gonna have spruce fences, but for this quartz section, I'm having to go with calcite fences because Minecraft still hasn't added quartz fences to the game, which is so sad. Like, come on Minecraft. Either quartz walls or quartz fences would honestly be so nice. Alright guys, there's only a couple more things that I need to do now. As you can see, this is a very simple bridge design because I didn't really fancy going all out here. So I'm gonna need to take out the floor, but I'm just realizing temporarily the bottom of this bridge is going to be the ceiling of this spare room in my underground base. For some reason I forgot to do a proper ceiling for this spare room, but I guess whenever I start using this, I'll add the ceiling underneath the floor of the bridge. But yeah, for now let's just take all of these blocks out. Now I'm going to place a bunch of spruce logs facing forward like this, as well as some quartz blocks on this side. And for the center section here where the quartz blends in with the spruce, I'm just going to randomly kind of place it like this and hope that it looks good. Okay, that kind of works, I guess. But yeah, this bridge is very, very close to being done. I believe the last thing that I need to do is the entrance to Farm Studios. This is going to be pretty simple. I just need an easy way to get in so I can make more pixel arts of the farms that I've built in future. So as you can see, I've got a nice staircase coming up there, and I'm just going to take out maybe a 5x4, or you know what, we'll go with a 5x5 area. We might as well make this a bit of a grand entrance, I guess. I'll place upside down stairs at the top there with some calcite fences going up on each side, and that is this entire bridge slash pathway completely done. As you can see, it's extremely simple and I really didn't try very hard here. I may upgrade this thing to look a lot more impressive in the future, but for now, it honestly serves its purpose really well. If we come through the front door here of my house, as you can see, I come in, I go down into my storage system and I get my things. After that, I'll come out into my back door, and if I want to go into Farm Studios for whatever reason, I have a wonderful bridge to do so, and a lovely entrance to get into as well. As you can see, I've got 4 days left in this video before I hit day 1200, which I don't think is enough time to begin another little mini project here in the starter base area. So instead, I think I'm gonna go mining for diamonds because I really want to actually make progress on this beacon project, and yeah, this diamond beacon is looking a little bit sorry for itself. So yeah, let's see how many diamonds I can get in around about 1 hour. Just under 3 stacks. You know what? That's actually pretty good for an hour. I have just remembered that I did actually get a whole bunch of diamonds from end raiding as well. Just over another stack. Awesome. Now for the moment of truth. How many diamond blocks does this make? 29. Damn, that is actually more than I thought. Now it is time for the most satisfying part, which is to place these diamond blocks in. We are getting pretty close to finishing this first layer. Anyway guys, as you can see on the top left of the screen, it is now day 1200. In this episode, we made a bartering farm, we decorated Farm Studios, we made this pretty cool bridge, we made a bunch of progress digging out the end island, we added the first item to the wall of items, which won't render in because of render distance, and last but not least, we made some really good progress on this diamond beacon. So if you enjoyed this episode of Hardcore, subscribe, and yeah, I'll see you next time.